Clear Talk. On this episode, we're going to start with why you don't need a business plan and what to do instead when you have a new business idea.
And then we go into the real difference between being an entrepreneur and a business owner.
And then we ended off with how am I so authentic and how you can be authentic if you're starting to feel like a phony. By the way, let me know in the comments down below, what are you, a business owner or an entrepreneur based on our definition in the show? Enjoy the show. Welcome back to Clear Talk. This is the #1 show for entrepreneurs who need clarity, and we're your hosts, Armin Shafi and
Jeanette Oduro.
And we're gonna help you out with questions that you have. You can go to askarmin.com and post your questions there, and we'll answer it live on the show every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on the Clear Talk show. So yeah, we're excited for today's episode. I'm excited to just go into. I want to kind of laser drill questions today.
Yeah?
Usually it's like story time and stuff. I just want to go into the questions. Boom, boom, boom. Question after question. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, so guys, if you're on Facebook right now, hit that like button. Why don't you share this so more people can hop on and have some fun with us. And today's a holiday. What holiday is it?
Some civic holiday. I don't really know.
Is it what? Does someone know what holiday it is?
No.
See, that's the guy in team we're at. Like, our team, our
It's
whole
some
team.
holiday.
We're still working. We don't. Yesterday, someone asked me, like, tomorrow's a holiday. I'm like, oh, really? I never know it's a holiday. Wrong person to ask. I just every day is Saturday to me, and on Saturday I work too. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, so happy holiday to whatever holiday it is for all my Canadians. And yeah, if you're on Facebook, drop a comment down below. Let us know so far what has been your greatest takeaway out of all the Clear Talk episodes, or maybe which one was your favorite one. If you're on Instagram, share this with somebody so that you can Instagram DM them so they can hop on with us and watch as well. For everyone hopping on Instagram right now, I can see one by one coming in. Welcome, happy Monday, and this is Jeanette's Facebook.
My Instagram.
Jeanette's Instagram, everyone hopping on. What's going on, guys? If you're on Facebook, hey everybody, we can't see you, but we know you're there. That's it's called faith. That's deep.
Very.
All right, Jay.
All right. I almost said all right A again, but it's really not gonna
You're
happen.
Canadian. That's okay.
Yeah. All right. So our first question today was actually submitted on my Instagram last week from a special person, my older sister. So she says, how do I make a business plan? Brenda Oduro.
Interesting. How would you answer?
Well, first I would ask, do you need a business plan?
Oh, what's a business plan? Tell me that.
So a business plan basically is the report or proposal that you put together to maybe get potential investors or to share your business idea with people, pretty much investors, if you're looking for grants, if you're looking to get partners.
That's
so
the only reason why I need a business plan.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, so unless you're asking somebody for money and they need to know what you're about to do with all that money, you don't need a business plan. I still don't have a business plan. Yeah. I've also never had a loan or needed money for the 4 years I've been doing business. We only just recently got one. And that's because of the whole situation. It was just like pretty much handed out money to help us out. So I'm like, great, that's a good idea, right? But never. So that's a very good point. You don't need a business plan until you actually need money and investing money, or you're trying to sell the company, you need a business plan. But let me ask you a question. When you're starting a business, how on earth are you ever going to know what the plan is? You don't. You have this vague idea of what you're going to build it around, but there is no way you can calculate. Business plans are like, to me, they're like, you telling me you're going to project the next 12 months of your business, knowing exactly how it's going to go, what the money's going to be like, what's going to happen. You're not.
Yeah.
The very essence of a business is sporadic, random problems occur, and you have no idea what's going to happen. So, no, you can't create a plan. I tried that once. Last year we were trying to create a business plan because we were trying to raise capital. We were going to sell.
Yeah, I remember.
We were going to sell a percentage of our company, my speaking company, and start raising money. Because I learned how to raise capital and all this stuff. So I'm like, oh, this is the answer. And then I started making a business plan, and I started to make it. I'm like, I never would have thought of this stuff when I first started.
Yeah.
I'm 3 years into the business, and I'm looking at this now. So, yeah, to business plans, you don't need them unless you are raising money. And if you're not, then just go. start a plan, not a business plan. Like start a plan on how you're gonna start the business, and just go out and start doing work, and the plan will happen as you do it. Like you'll start with your plan, and then a better plan will show up, because the ideas will hit your mind after you've taken massive action. But let me tell you something, you'll actually never know what's gonna happen. So to pretend like you're going to know by making a whole plan and spending hours on it is stupid. It just doesn't, it's useless.
Yeah.
It's useless.
I would compare a business plan to like hypothesizing when you're about to do a science
Yeah.
experiment. You're just like gathering information.
That's a really good example.
You're just gathering information. You're like, here's what can potentially happen. Let's try it.
Yeah.
You know? So
Here's the hypothetical.
yeah.
Yeah.
If
It's
I
like a science experiment.
genuinely, right? So
But you really don't know.
yeah, and it's genuinely, if you are in a place where you're like, no, for sure, I do need capital, then there's a couple options that you do have. Like we always talk about Fiverr. You can find somebody on Fiverr for relatively cheap to put together a business plan for you. They'll consult with you.
Here's my philosophy. Go find an expert. If you're ever raising money, go find an expert that's raised money for companies and tell them to just do it for you, because they know exactly what that plan even needs to say for the investor to want to invest.
They know the good words.
And at the end of the day, even a business plan, it's just what they require. Like banks require that.
Yeah.
But they're still not going to give you money if you just don't feel confident in your business. So, like at the end of the day, it comes back to like make sure you're the person. If you're going to raise money, you stand in front of the investor. They should believe in you. The business plan is just to see a logical point of view of where their money's going and what it's going to do for your business. But it's really you. And I think you're saying, I'm going to assume your sister's saying, create a business plan because she wants to just get started on building her business.
Yeah.
And
I
you
know
would
what
think-
business she wants to run, but I'm going to let her
What business is
keep it. Well,
is it? I don't know. Is it
it's not really that private,
I can
guess.
help if I know.
She's gonna start her own like preschool. So she right now
cool.
works for a reputable, kind of high end young children's facility.
Yeah,
And she's
very
a teacher, so she wants to open her own facility
Private
because her own private school.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's a good idea. So you wouldn't need I wouldn't be working on a business plan unless you need money. Like then that sounds like you might need money.
Exactly.
If
right.
you- if
She
you're-
might have what's the things like when you got to get approvals for stuff, licenses and stuff like that.
But a business
Yeah.
plan isn't. Oh,
I
maybe.
don't.
I
It
don't
might
know.
be necessary
I
to
don't
apply
know.
for that. I'm not sure. Right.
If you're asking because you think that's the first thing you need to do when you start a business, wrong.
Yeah.
Okay? No, it's not. What you need to sit down is ask yourself, what's your goal? What do you want from this private school when you build it? What do you want out of it? What do you want to take home from it income-wise? What do you want it to generate income-wise? What do you want it to do for the students you take? How big do you want to make it? Like, make sure your vision is good. And that's not a business plan.
Yeah.
Business plan is very, like, technical, logical ways of explaining where things are going to happen or what the company's about. But you got to create, like, a vision. Like, sit down and get emotionalized with this idea of building make it really exciting for you. Then after that, you think to yourself, like, who do I need to help me do this? And then you go through all the different people that you can help you do this, and you start developing some sort of an organization where people get something out of it by helping you build it from scratch. No, you can't do this alone. You definitely can't do this alone.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a business plan, more so a vision that you can articulate to people that they go, well, I want to be a part of this. That's different. But if you're raising money, like I said, business plan.
Mm-hmm.
Good question.
And I just want to touch, Armin mentioned something that's really important. If you think that a business plan is the first thing that you need to get started, it's not.
No.
So please do remember that when you're like, oh, like I do want to start this thing. I think the business plan is like the old
Yeah,
like,
you
system,
don't.
right?
I still don't have a business plan.
Yeah.
It's been 4 years.
So
Still don't. And I don't
Awesome.
care. Yeah, the first thing you should do in a business when you're about to start it is make sure it sells. Like, see if it sells. So if you're going to do this, I would literally go and make sure you get 100 parents that are consenting in advance that they would give you their kids for, like, they would be a customer of yours if you built the school. If you don't have a already made customer base, you're about to build this business with blind eyes and not know what's going to happen.
yeah, she does. She does. You do.
Already
So
have
go call
customer
them.
base. Yeah, so
Yeah.
call them and say, I'm going to make the school, here's my vision about it, and then you can tell them the vision, be like, I want to do this, and here's why it's going to be different, and that's not a business plan. That's more like you just understanding why your competitive edge is,
Yeah.
And if parents go, oh my God, of course I would want my kids in your school instead of this school, then you get 100 like yeses from a bunch of people, and you pretty much have done like market research. And now from them, you ask them, what do you want in this? Maybe they're the ones who want to invest in it. Like, do you know people that would invest in doing this?
Yeah.
I would start by going into the field and getting like sales, future buyers in advance. It's the same way I help coaches build their businesses. Get future clients in advance before you build an entire coaching program. Or go make sure you get future customers in advance before you build an entire school, and then hope it's going to show up. Everyone's going to show up. So, there's a famous like movie line that says like, build it and they'll come. That's not true. They will not come if you build it. You got to go get them to say they're going to come, and they'll come, and then you build it. So yeah, I would do that first. I wouldn't do anything else.
I never even thought about because obviously we teach it with the coaching, but I was like, oh wow, that could actually work with any business.
There is
model.
no business I'd ever start ever again
without doing that.
Without
That makes
having
so much
previous
sense.
market research done and knowing that it sells. Until I validate the idea works, I would never like anything. I don't care if it's like we were thinking of so I came up with a T-shirt invention. I'm not gonna tell anyone about it because I'm still gonna make it. I'm gonna patent it.
It's gonna come out, yeah.
But I thought of an idea on making a T-shirt that I think men would love to wear. And because I would love to wear it, so I'm like, I know there's men like me that are going to want to wear this shirt. So I have a name for it. I have the technology behind how it's designed, like stitched so that it fits a certain way on the body. And so what did I do? The first thing I did is I made sure that, first of all, I know who can help me with this and that it sells. So I start asking people. I started going to like maybe about a dozen men that I know in my life, and I'm like, imagine this. Would you wear it? They're like, well, yeah, that sounds amazing. So that's not enough. I would actually go do thorough market research when I'm ready to launch this thing.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, I didn't. We were on
That's
the ball.
actually wow. It was actually
Like by now, we probably would have had our first.
Yeah.
But we stopped. Whatever. Everything happens for a reason. So my point is, I asked a bunch of men, I'm like, would you wear this? And they're like, yeah, this sounds brilliant. This idea is crazy, right? And I only told people I trust. So first I make sure that it actually is a good idea. So by validating, I'm asking people like, would you wear this? What do you think sucks about the shirts you wear? And what compared to this shirt I'm talking about? They're like, oh, definitely. And so the next thing I do is I started to organize people that can help me do it. I talked to a friend who's made shirts before. I got a manufacturer. We started talking like, can we do ideas with you? So I'm not even going into like building a company out of this until I know I can do this, until I know people want it, right? So it's just a lot of testing the idea, and then I go, this is a good idea. I think it will sell like hotcakes. Not only will I buy probably 50% of the stock the first month because I want to wear them, but I think every guy's going to be like, yo, I want to wear this. So I would never start a business without market research first and making sure you have a customer base before you build anything to sell. And then make the customers tell you what they want and you build it around them. And then they'll buy when you make it. That's how we do everything, yeah?
Love it. All right.
Next question.
Next question. What is the real difference between an entrepreneur and a business owner?
That's a great question.
Great, right?
That's a great question.
That question is from John.
Okay.
No last name.
Okay, John, no last name. I want to hear your answer first. What do you think?
Ooh, the real difference between an entrepreneur and a business owner. Well, my first initial answer is an entrepreneur is someone who is going out into the world to make their own income. It's like the baby steps. It's like step one. You go out and you're like, I want to start a business. I'm an entrepreneur. And I think it really becomes a business when you have a team, a following, and a proven system that is running over a period of time. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm getting into entrepreneurship. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. That means I've just made the decision. It's like a title. I think it's just like employee, entrepreneur. But when you really are a business owner, you have a system, you have a team. It's like a collaborative effort that has gained results over time. That would be my answer.
Yeah. No, I think you're really close. I would say an entrepreneur is one who earns money through creative ventures, like ideas they have, and like self-employed ideas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Business owner owns a business that's generating income. There's a big difference, actually.
Okay.
So an entrepreneur would be classified as a network marketer,
Yes.
as a salesperson that works on their own schedule. That's an entrepreneur.
Technically.
Because they can sell for any company at any time.
Yes,
And work from home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
An entrepreneur could be an investor. Could be.
Yes.
They could have a portfolio and build a company with investments. They're entrepreneurial because they are they're generating income through their efforts, like through skills.
Yeah.
Right? They don't work for somebody, more so they just work out a talent and skill and they offer it and if they sell something, they're an entrepreneur.
So entrepreneur is very solo.
Yes, exactly. Entrepreneurs are solo. I'm not an entrepreneur.
No.
No, if I was an entrepreneur, no one would be here.
You're a business owner.
I own a business, right? So I'm a CEO of a company. There's a very big difference. So, it's funny because you get all the entrepreneurs like, CEO, they put out their Instagram bios. You're not a CEO! You're an entrepreneur! You're an entrepreneur. That means you're trying to it's like a lone wolf.
Yeah.
You're the leader of a pack.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs don't lead.
It's true.
They're like actors. Actors just do what they do. They get on the set. You're not a director. That's deep. Entrepreneurs are an actor. You show up, you do what you do best, and you make your money from that.
Yeah.
Business owners are like directors, or the owner of the production company.
Yeah.
Big difference, eh?
Yeah. I'm realizing that now that
Yeah.
you're expanding.
So, like, an owner of a network marketing company is a business owner.
Yes.
All of the people under him in this
they're
company
all
that are selling your
entrepreneurs.
stuff are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So entrepreneurs aren't, they have leadership qualities or else they wouldn't be entrepreneurial. But they're not leaders of anything yet. Not yet. So that's why I agree it's like a first step almost. But it's like some people, it's the only step there.
That's true.
They just want to be someone who's like laptop lifestyle, right? The people who like,
Yeah,
like if you like to build out like stuff for people and like you want to travel the world, you're an entrepreneur. You don't have a business. Your business is a solo business, sole proprietorship. A company.
Solopreneur.
Yeah, solo, your business of your own.
Yeah.
The moment you start hiring people, the moment you have a product you can sell that's not you, a product. The
Product
moment
or
you,
system, I think.
yeah,
right.
a product, and you have a system. I'm saying of operation. For
Oh
that.
yes.
And you have all. Now you're a company. Now you're a business owner. You own a business, right? Yeah. That's my biggest answer. But I would love to know the definition.
Yeah.
So why don't we define?
It's
Oh, you have it? What is it? Do you want to bring it up or should we?
yeah, I can. You want me to bring it up?
Actually, let us bring it up so
Yeah.
that the mic can catch our audio. So just entrepreneur definition. So what does it say?
A person who organizes and operates a business or businesses taking on greater than normal financial risks in order to do so.
Yeah, Google's wrong. Put business owner. Because an entrepreneur is not a CEO. Just maybe they're CEOs are entrepreneurial. Like I'm entrepreneurial, but I'm
Yes.
not an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
What's a business owner?
A business owner is an individual or entity who owns a business entity in an attempt to profit from the successful operations of the company.
Yeah, so these are the definitions. They're pretty much saying an entrepreneur is classified as someone who owns a business too.
Yeah.
Which is not false.
It's not
That's
wrong.
true.
Like-
But you're asking, what is the real difference?
Yeah.
We're giving you our opinion of that.
Yes.
The real difference is an entrepreneur usually runs something small or what they're on their own. They're like a freelancer. That's an entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
But business owner is running a company.
Yeah.
Like they have an actual system of operations. By the way, network marketers, like, they're entrepreneurs. You're not owning a business. I'm sorry to break it to you. Here's why. Because in a network market, I was a network marketer. So were you.
So was I, yeah.
The only thing you're owning of a system of operations, which is not even your system, is your downline. And your downline is just people that work on their own.
And
So
you technically don't own
you're
them.
not a business owner. A business owner is the CEO of the company you're working in. That's in that network marketing company. That's a business owner.
Yeah.
That person who owns the company you're selling products of, that person's the business owner. Just letting you know. Yeah.
It's true.
And
Because
a business owner, by the way, owns a business.
yeah.
Entrepreneur could do multiple things.
Yeah, that's true.
Very big
That's
difference,
true.
right? Like I could have a side online business while I'm doing this thing. That's why I don't believe in like being an entrepreneur forever. This is the number one show for entrepreneurs who need clarity because entrepreneurs don't have clarity. That's my point. It's not the number one show for business owners that need clarity because I think business owners, if they're business owners, they have much clarity. If you're a serial entrepreneur, I have a cure for it. That is a disease. Saying I'm a serial entrepreneur, saying I'm a professional, unfocused individual. Like that's really what you're saying. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I can't put my mind and commit to one thing. So I have 7 ventures. Let me tell you something. One time, Isaiah sat with me at FO. We're having a mentorship meeting. And he asked me, he goes, I want to create multiple streams of income. I'm like, why? And do you remember this?
Yeah, this is like 8 months ago.
Long time ago. Transformed, man. He's reborn. So I'm sitting there, he goes, I want to create multiple streams of income. I'm like, why? He goes, well, they say that, millionaires have seven streams of income. And I said, who's they? If you're in my reborn program, you know this is how I qualify people's opinions. Who's they? Who's they? Who said that? He goes, well, I'm like, who? Did your upline say that? Well, yeah, we heard it from the upline. And I said, okay, does he have 7 streams of income? And he goes, well, I don't know. I'm like, you never asked? When a person's telling you advice and you're living by it, you don't even ask if they're doing it? Is not the first question you should ask.
Yeah.
Like, oh, how many streams of income do you have, Mr. Upline? By the way, if you're in a network marketing company and they offer 7 different ways of getting paid, that's not 7 streams of income.
That no count. Okay.
That's not 7. Stop this nonsense. This is not 7 streams of income.
I'm allowed to say this because I used to think that way in my.
I was a
network marketing
professional.
business.
I was a professional network marketer.
There's 7 income streams I should have. They offer me 10.
That is 1 streams of income. That is 1 stream of income that you're working 7 different ways to earn.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not 7 streams of income. Number 1.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Isaiah. I'm like, listen, man. In network marketing, this is a sexy idea that you sell because because who's the market for network marketing? People who work a job.
Yep.
So when someone works a job and they're working from 8 hours a day, 9 to 5, to earn a couple grand a month, to them a sexy idea is that they can do that times 7.
Absolutely.
So if they made 14 grand a month times 2 and they had multiple streams, it's just an idea you sell so that the person gets enticed to want to build a second stream of income, which is a network marketing business on the side of their job. Not a bad idea, by the way. I'm not against the idea of network marketing. I'm just letting you know to clear things up on the idea of how this really works.
Yep.
So I'm looking at Isaiah and I'm like, man, if you try to build 7 things right now, you will be broke for the rest of your life. And he goes, what? And I go, listen, yes, rich people, maybe not millionaires, okay? Maybe like 100 millionaires, 9-figure earners, 8-figure earners, or billionaires have multiple streams of income.
Many.
Why? Because they have built one one thing that's an empire that has multiple avenues of businesses in it, okay?
Exactly.
Warren Buffett owns Berkshire Hathaway. Berkshire Hathaway owns dozens,
They own everything.
hundreds of companies. All of those companies provide a honorarium of they offer like royalties to his holdings company. That is multiple streams of income. An investor has maybe 7 properties. They have 7 income streams from rental properties. That's multiple streams of income.
Yes.
Well, really, it's still one income, but you're making, it's rental properties.
Mm-hmm.
But if you, if you have like different ventures that make you money. Okay, so if you have investments, that's 1 stream of income. If you have a business making you cash, that's 1 stream of income, 2nd stream of income. If you have freelancing you do, that's 3rd stream of income. My point to you is this. I was looking at Isaiah and I'm like, this is an idea they sell. It is flawed because you're not understanding what they mean. Yes, you have to create multiple streams of income, but 1 at a time. Like, build 1. He goes, so how do I do that? I go, build 1 until it makes you $1 million, then move on to the next one. He goes, oh. Now here's the problem. How Isaiah took it back then is what I think is the problem with every network marketer and pretty much every entrepreneur.
Yeah.
He was trying to do his job while learning how to do network marketing, while learning about stocks. You were learning how to invest back then?
I was doing plumbing.
Plumbing?
I was doing
network marketing.
And what else was
There's a 3rd one you were doing. You're like, I'm learning into investing and stuff. And
I think I was. Because
learning
I first
investing.
read my Ray Dalio and I'm like, well, this guy's amazing. So I was also...
Let me do investing, right? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, you're trying to build 3 things.
Or digital marketing also.
Digital marketing
for...
Why? Because he took the idea wrong, eh? The idea is also taught wrong in the industry. My point is, I looked at him like, bro, you're not going to get anywhere. You will stay poor. You will stay this way for a long time if you do this. He goes, so what do? I go, cut out everything but 1 and focus on that until it becomes very successful before you move on to anything else. And he goes, well, which one should I focus on? I go, well, you want me to be honest? He goes, yeah. I'm like, you're young. You have good passion in you. Go into sales. In sales, you'll make first $1 million. It's an easy way it's an easy way compared to all the other ways you're doing. And it's lucrative and it's real. Like you can it's realistic. If you spend the next 3 to 5 years of your life mastering sales, that could also go into every other stream of income because it helps you do it. So I'm like, do that. So that's literally what he did. Since I've met him, He's developed himself. He's already now like, he's preparing himself to sell my programs, which are very high ticket, and he's gonna make a lot of money from that. So my point is, this idea, this notion of serial entrepreneur, multiple streams of income, that is probably your biggest problem. If you do that and you're not making money, that's your biggest problem. If you do that and you are making money, you're gonna hit a ceiling. You're never gonna make more money than that. It is impossible, okay? It's impossible to try to do multiple things at the same time and get really good at them all. It's impossible. If that was the case, guys, Elon Musk would be one of the greatest. Like, Elon Musk is pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
But no, hold on. What would happen if he put all of his time into one of those companies?
Yeah.
He'd be like Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, like he would outdo them. You know what I'm saying? He would create an entire new industry. He would be on Mars by now. My point is, he's still doing 3. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean, first of all, that is the highest peak and exaggeration of a human being that does this. So do not compare yourself to that. That is an untypical situation. Yeah.
What's the 3?
He has
SpaceX?
Tesla, and Solar City.
Yeah.
And he's also building an underground. I think I heard about that. He's building like a underground road.
Hyperloop.
Hyperloop. So
It's not underground. It's over cities. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. And it generates energy as it goes. The train. But by the way, notice this. All of it's from one core skill.
Yes.
It's energy. He's a scientist. He's a good technology energy specialist. Like, he understands how to produce energy. So all of those companies are based off like science and technology, what he's good at. So still, it's the same, like, you know.
It's like technically in the same industry, same realm.
But if he spent all of his time in one, it would abolish the goals. So my point is, even at the highest level of an example, like Elon Musk, even him, like, if he focused, you know. But whatever, maybe his goal requires him to do all these. Maybe there's a one big goal he's building, and all of these are required to have it. Then he's on the right track, you know.
That's true.
So you never know. But my point is, don't compare yourself to billionaires. Like, stop watching interviews with billionaires. You were getting the wrong ideas. Billionaires, what they're saying now when they're billionaires, sitting on in interviews, and they're so in a different place than you.
Yeah.
So when you see a billionaire, it's like, you know, I just relax about things, and I spend time with my kid. I always leave my office at 5. I make sure my work never goes. That guy, ask him where he was when he was starting the business.
He wasn't like that in the early days.
He probably lost everything in the early days. He probably first 5 to 10 years, like Amazon right now, right? Jeff Bezos, you interview him, he goes, yeah, you know, I'm really good. Like, in the interviews, you see how he's like kind of relaxed about things. Have you ever heard the story? They didn't make any profit for the first 12 years of Amazon. Do you understand how hard he was working every single day for those years?
The majority of his employees would describe it as like slavery.
But you wouldn't interview Jeff at that time.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be able to understand how he was thinking at that time. Because that's how he got here.
Yeah.
So stop watching interviews with billionaires because you're getting the wrong advice. Like, they're never going to be able to connect to where you're at in your journey. So I used to watch billionaire interviews, and I started to get really lazy. Because they're talking from a perspective of someone who's built all this stuff, and now they're like, they have a different philosophy of living because they've achieved so much. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do that too. Then I started to just listen to myself. I'm like, where am I at? What do I got to do? And I started to study Think and Grow Rich because it helps me understand where I'm at, what I got to do now.
Yeah.
And I started to watch, and I got lucky because I started to hire like people that were making more money than me, but just a few steps ahead.
Steps. Yeah.
So I get to still like I'm learning from people that are making $10-20 million a year. So I'm like, oh, okay. So if I learn from you're like pretty much a few steps ahead of me. So I can learn how to still think like you to get to even where you're at. So it's like you got to get it from the person who's the closest to where you're at, but still more successful because they're still in the momentum of what you got to be thinking like.
Yes.
It's a very big difference, eh?
I think that's the key, especially like in our early days, and you kind of alluded to it. We were thinking 50 steps ahead.
Yeah.
When we should have really only.
And we never got anything done.
We did.
Nah.
We did.
We didn't get anything done.
But it wasn't.
We made a bunch of logos.
It was like very intangible. It was very intangible.
Super vague.
Yeah.
And how much time did we waste?
Lots
of time.
Lots of time.
I don't think we got anything done compared to what we are doing now because
it's light years.
Back then we were pretending, literally all these entitled CEOs, pretending like we have these massive companies, and I'm like, that's great. It's good for like personal confidence.
Yes.
But for time efficiency, when you looked at our actual sheets when we used to track what we're doing, we're like, yo, we waste half our time out of the week.
Yeah.
Why? Because we're acting like someone who has a multi-billion-dollar company and with kids at home. Because we're watching them.
Yeah.
Stop. So anyways, going back to network marketing, you don't need multiple streams of income. You are not allowed to start a second stream of income until the first one has made you $1 million. Stop. Like, Until it's made you at least $1 to $3 million, don't do anything else. That's why I'm still focused on my business. I want to hit those goals. I want to hit a certain level of income where I'm like, all right, if I want to ever do something second, I will. I'll get into real estate. I'll choose a second thing intelligently that's relevant to what I like to do.
Yeah.
So don't try to change your focus so much, guys. Even in a job, like until you have maximized the position you could have in that company, like, and you like it, like, don't try to do anything on the side. That's my like most employees would probably make more money if they focused all their energy that they put into a side network marketing business in their company to just elevate themselves and provide so much value to the company that they can determine what their income is there.
Yeah.
But they don't look at that as the way, right? They look at that like, well, that's not possible. There's a ceiling. Yeah, but you can cap out at probably 6 figures a year in a job for a company if you do that much work in a network marketing business that's going to pay you an extra $2,000 a month or $1,000 a month after 12 months of work, and you have 7,000 people on the downline. Mm-hmm. If you put that same amount of effort in the job and just go so extra mile for that company, not only will you develop your own skills and good habits, but also you can determine your price in that company because they need you now. So, it was a bad idea when I was building a network marketing business. It was a bad idea back in the day where I used to take people and like convince them to leave their jobs to do this with me because they would take the same bad habits in the crappy job they were doing, their crappy work, and bring it into a business and make a crappy business. Mm-hmm. Like, really, the people who crushed it were people who had great discipline in the company they were already working for. Mm-hmm. And they came into this business and they would start a business the same way. So, don't ever sell to someone to work with you who has a lot of time on their hands. That means they don't know what the hell they're doing.
They're the worst ones. They're the hardest.
Like, get busy people to work with you because they know how to be busy. They know how to get work done. So
exactly.
That was a great mindset shift right there, actually. All right, what's the next question?
The next question is, you seem authentically like yourself. How can I ensure I'm bringing my authentic self through and not sound like everyone else? That question is from Maria Gutierrez.
Ooh. Hola. What would you say?
I don't know why he's asking me questions first, but usually he goes first. I would say, how do you bring your authentic self through and you don't sound like everyone else? I mean, do you feel like I want to ask why you maybe feel like you sound like everyone else right now? Like, do you feel like you sound the same? Do you feel like everybody sounds the same? What's your thoughts about sounding like everyone else? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But if I was to say it from my perspective, it's, how do I know I'm authentically being myself? It's genuinely just living like you're dancing like dance when nobody's watching kind of phenomenon. And I hate to use that cliche statement, but it's literally like you're going throughout your life like no one is watching. You're living for yourself. You're doing all the right things all the time, and it just feels good. Like, it's very hard to describe how to be your authentic self, in my opinion. It's because it just seems like a decision.
No, you know why? Because BS.
Yeah.
It's bull. The person who talks about being authentic is because they themselves are being phony. The person who's preaching about authenticity usually is just insecurity inside. They got to prove something that they are authentic because they feel like they're not. Have you noticed I never said the word authentic on the show? I don't think you
even say it.
You notice I never talk about, like, authenticity? I talk about integrity. And not because I'm trying to prove anything, because I'm trying to share with you guys what's changed my life. Having integrity. Like, being real with myself, honest with myself.
Yeah.
Self-honesty is everything. Because I'm being honest about how terrible my habits were and how I changed them. Mm-hmm. But you notice I never preach about, like, authenticity. Because I'm not sitting here thinking, like, am I coming across as me? Do people feel like I'm being something I'm not? When someone's preaching about authenticity, they are hypersensitive to people's opinions. And that's an insecurity from the beginning. Like, authentic to what? Right, Maria? To who?
Yeah.
Like, you say you sound like your authentic self. How could you ever know that? What does that even mean? Right? What does that mean? What do you mean when you say that about me?
I guess what do people say a lot? Live your truth. Right?
They don't know what that means when they say it.
I guess that maybe it comes across as you living your truth.
Please don't do it. One of us goes in and we all go through it. Tracy got the money. Sorry. Just don't. Okay? Stop worrying about this stuff. Maria, get your head out of the clouds. Start focusing on what you want in life. Okay? So, what's the point of being authentic if you got no goal in life? Anyways. Useless. The life is useless.
Yeah.
So don't worry about authenticity. You just say, what do you want? Answer that question. What do you want? What do you want in life? What do you want right now? What do you want to work towards? What do you want to have that would make you very happy? What do you want to do that would make you feel good about yourself? What do you want? And then, just work towards it. And along that journey, you find yourself. Because you have to develop a relationship with yourself to be able to achieve that goal. Right? So, when you start to focus on just what you need to do and what you need to work on and what you want to become and what your goal is, then other people who aren't doing that will look at you and go, you look so authentic. How do you do it? Well, I'll assure you, it's not because I'm sitting there thinking about how to be authentic.
Yeah.
I'm preaching to people to be authentic. I don't care about your authenticity because I don't think it's a real situation. I don't think you're inauthentic or authentic. What is that?
Seriously. Honestly.
What does that even mean? Like,
Genuinely.
oh, I do remember. I'm in a flashback. I talked about this on episode like 3 or 4, like early in the days. Because someone asked me about authenticity or something. I still remember that.
Maybe.
I remember that. And it was right here actually in front of my desk. I was doing it. It was in the chair.
Yeah.
And I'm remembering it now because I was like, what does even being authentic mean? I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah. So what does that even mean? Like, why are you so... That's really just... You're really just saying, how do I feel... How do I get other people's opinions about me to be good because I'm being real? It's really what you're asking. Why do you care what others think? Why does it matter? You know what's authentic? Here. Not caring about what people think if you're authentic or not. That's authentic. Because think about it. Trying to be authentic the whole time is you're putting yourself in this trap of like this prison of like I gotta make sure I'm perfect. Like
Yeah,
I want to
just
make
be
sure
who you
people
are.
think I'm real. Because like, when does a person ever feel inauthentic? When someone else says something to them.
Yeah.
You don't sit there and go, I feel like I'm not being myself. You don't do that. You ever sit there and like doubt I don't feel like I'm being myself today. No, it's only when someone else goes, well, when they question you or doubt you, then you go, am I being me?
Yeah.
Maybe I should make this person happy. Maybe I should be different. Please don't do it.
Drake can.
Yeah. Stop thinking about that. Think about what you want, work towards it, and don't worry about the stuff.
Yeah.
Don't bother your mind with nonsense. What's authenticity? Just listen, don't lie. Don't be a crappy person and just intentionally be dishonest. That's it. Just don't do that and your whole life will be great. Literally just always tell the truth, always be honest, always just be real with yourself first.
Yeah.
So that you can be real with others. You can't do the other way around. You can't be real with others and not real with yourself. Because what you do on the inside with yourself is what you do with others on the outside.
Yeah.
So be honest with yourself about your problems, fix them, be honest with your goals, go after them. And then when other people interact with you, they'll feel this sense of authenticity. Because they're like, oh, you're very connected with yourself. Yeah, because I'm not worried about what you're thinking about me. That's why.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm still a chameleon. So you're saying like you're being yourself. That's just that's a combination of all the things I'm trying to be right now, all at the same time. Like I have habits from Tony Robbins, from Jim Rohn, from Satish, from Napoleon Hill, I have so many habits in my back of my mind, like Jeff Bezos, from Elon Musk, to every single person I've watched till now. Like it's all a part of me.
Yeah.
So is that my authentic? I don't think about authenticity in that sense. I'm just doing what I'm modeling and to get what my goal is. That's it. The feeling of authenticity is when you feel the person is at peace with who they are. There's a big difference. It's not how they really are, it's that they're at peace with who they are. I'm at peace with who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Because no one's opinion determines whether I'm at peace with who I am. I'm just at peace.
Exactly. And something you just said sparked something in me, and it's interesting because I feel like the argument of authenticity kind of alludes to the fact that you kind of said it, like you have to be perfect all the time and you have to be this specific rigid thing.
Yeah.
You're a human. You're a human
Yeah.
being.
Go mess
and,
up.
And every single day you wake up and you make the decision to do something.
Yeah.
And it can be whatever the hell you want it to be. And you can change it tomorrow. Technically, you can change it the next day.
Yeah.
Technically.
Think about this.
So
What
does
if-
that mean you're inauthentic because
Yeah.
you changed your
Yeah.
mind?
What? I remember arguing with someone about this. They're like, well, you gotta be authentic. I'm like, what do you mean authentic? Like, am I authentic or not? They're like, yeah, you're being authentic. I'm like, if tomorrow I woke up and I decide to be a monk, am I inauthentic now to who I am? And they go, well, like, if I want to be something different tomorrow, am I a fake person now? Or am I just changing who I want to be?
Exactly.
So is the concept of authentic even real? Or is it just everyone's perception of you and you have to make sure it's fit with what they think?
Oof.
You got to be predictable.
Oof.
based on what people's opinion of you are.
Yeah, I hope you guys
Never
are listening.
change.
Genuinely.
Don't be authentic. Be inauthentic. Screw it. Be inauthentic. Be
Right.
fake, because anyone that you gotta be authentic for, they're gonna keep you where you are. You know, if you're poor, like let's say you have no money and all you know in your whole life is not having money. Well, are you inauthentic if you want to be rich now? See the problem? See the problem with how stupid this idea and concept is?
Right?
Like, what do I be like? But Armin, think about this. I'm gonna give you a good example of why you should never think about this crap. When you're starting in a journey, when I was starting in my journey, I was a kid. I'm an idiot. I'm a kid. I'm childish.
Yep.
Got no money. Got no skills. Got no experience.
Yep.
But I had this dream. I had this dream of becoming this person. I'm like, I'm gonna be this person. I started acting like it, walking like it, talking like it, thinking like it, being like it, right? I'm being inauthentic with the broke, childish, immature young kid I was being for before, right? And everyone around me saying, well, like, you're not acting like yourself. I know! Because I don't want to be that myself anymore. I want to be something else.
Exactly.
Right? So I'm standing there, I'm like, I'm walking like this person, talking like this person. Now some people will be like, he's pretending. That's not really him. He's authentic. He's dishonest. He's pretending. He's a phony. Whatever. Of course you're a phony at first. You gotta be fake at first because what you're going for isn't real yet.
Yeah.
Jim Rohn said you're just telling the truth in advance. So, authenticity. I mean, if you're talking about how you gotta behave and be, that's never gonna be authentic. Don't even measure like that. Just go, what do you need to be right now to have what you want? End of story. Now, if you're talking about honesty, there's a big difference. That's integrity,
Yes.
not authenticity. That's
Yes.
integrity.
Yeah.
It's like, are you an honest person or dishonest person? Do you lie? Do you like, do you have loopholes in your life and how you do things, or do you just do it straight up and face the, face the heat? That's not an authenticity problem. That's an honesty problem. Like you're a dishonest person. So if you're honest, Maria, if you're an honest person, that's just getting stuck in the trap of like, what do people think of me? Am I being authentic? Stop. What do you want? Work towards it. Stop listening to everybody. That's it.
Genuinely.
And then they'll follow you, by the way, because they have no goals in life.
It's interesting. I just wanted to pull up the definition. So the definition of authentic is of undisputed origin or genuine, right? So how does anybody know if you're being authentic? You're the only one who knows.
What
for
if
yourself.
I genuinely want to act rich because I want to be rich? Am I unauthentic?
No.
See?
Right?
By the way, the source of this entire the error and flaw with this concept is the fact that you only can measure it from what others are thinking of it.
It's perception.
You can't do it on yourself. You don't look in the mirror and go, am I authentic today? Did I measure myself on a scale of 10 out of 11? You don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's the entire concept of being authentic is only dependent on what others' opinions of you are. Because what do they think I'm being to them? So, I'll give you an example. I used to wear three-piece suits all the time. Okay? Always. I dressed like sharp. Like, you walk past me, you get a paper cut on your finger. Okay? Like, that's how sharp I dressed.
Yeah.
And I put my time, I loved it. That's authentically what I wanted to do at that time because I loved it. And every time I met people, I was always faced with this like controversial like perception of me. I'm this beautiful, loving human being, warm and like cuddly, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm dressed in like a three-piece suit, like I look like Harvey Specter, and like everywhere I went, my hair was gelled.
This is not a lie.
And people will
Facts.
meet me and have this perception of me that I'm this either I'm like fake because I'm dressing better than I am. Mm-hmm. Example one. Or that I'm a mean person or like cold because I'm dressed like in a suit and suit people are cold, right? So they didn't think I was gonna be nice and like when I met them, I'm like, hey, how's it going? They'd be like, I totally was like the wrong impression of you at first. I'm like, oh, well, this is how I am.
Yeah.
So their perception of me was wrong. Or they just thought like something of me, like I'm trying to be something. I'm not. They would be like, oh, you're just trying to be something bigger than he is, right? Because I'm dressing.
Of course.
Okay. So at that time, I wanted to do that. I had no care about what others thought. So I would meet opposition with this. People would be like, why are you dressed in a suit? We're at an event. I'm like, because I always dress like this. I'm like, this is just how I want to dress. They're like, yeah, but isn't that uncomfortable? I go, no, I'm very comfortable in this. It feels like sweatpants because I'm used to this and I like it. And I like what it does to me and I like how it feels on me and how I look about it. And it makes me happy. And I would always face this like, they would be intimidated by me up front from a first impression, then meet me and go, oh, you're so different than what I thought. And it's all because my branding and how I looked gave off this inauthentic thing about me. But at that time, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Now I dress literally shirts. I haven't worn a suit for like a long time. And I think about, I'm like, this is what I want to be now. Now, any human being could look at that and be like, well, were you being fake then or now?
Yep.
The answer is none. Because I don't care what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I don't care. So I wasn't looking in the mirror and go, I'm being fake today because I'm wearing a three-piece. And I'm not looking like I'm being real today because I'm wearing a shirt. No. So the entire content is based on what do others think about me. Do they think I'm being real or authentic? If you're busying your mind with this stuff, you are butchering the chances of your goal being achieved in life. Like, you are murdering time.
Let it go.
I need a fake clock that can kill every time I do that.
Yeah.
You're killing your time. Stop caring about this stuff. Move on. Set a goal and work towards it. Stop caring about what anyone thinks. How do you do that? Oh, hold on. I'll tell you how. See my hands here? If I want to raise my hand and just do it, right? I don't have to think about it. I just see my hand right here. Look at this. Watch. How did I do that? What was the process behind my brain to make this decision, to make my hand? Did I have to move neurons from my... No, I just did it, right? It's the same way your thoughts work. So when you hear about what someone thinks, you just stop thinking about it. That's how you do it. That's this quick. You just... Instant. Thoughts are instant. You just don't think about it.
Yeah.
Like right now, stop thinking about it and think about something you want. It's that instant. There is no process to it. There's no, how do I do it though? There's blockages. No, you don't. Just stop and do it. Because think about someone else. Think about something else. Think about your goal. Not about what people are thinking. End of story. And do that enough times repetitively, eventually become a habit, you never think about it again.
And with that, it's so dangerous. Like, I had to face that. Like, the environment that I grew up in.
Yeah.
Like, the way I am is so, like, different from other people. Like, being so honest and
Yeah.
like, being transparent. So that, I became, like, outcasted, basically.
Yeah.
And it depends on who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
Someone, when you surround yourself with different types of groups, they will look at you like you're an alien.
Yeah.
And then you surround yourself with different types of groups,
Yeah.
and then they look at you, yeah, that's normal.
A good example
So-
is growing up in a family where being inauthentic is authentic. Like everyone works to like hide things. Works really hard to hide things and like never tell anything
Absolutely.
how it really is. You know, don't tell your aunt about this. And like you grew up in that environment. Imagine you grew up in like what's authentic to you is to always cover things up because that's real.
Yep.
And so when you start being honest, now you're the bad person.
You're like an alien.
Yeah.
And now you start to, the dangerous part is that you start to shape yourself in what they think. Now
Absolutely.
you become someone totally different. And then a year from now, you're like, who am I? And now you're lost. 'Cause
Yeah.
You forgot yourself.
When people like, let me clear this up, okay? If you ever see great people, like I see people that are just genuinely good people, they're talking about authenticity. When they're talking about authenticity, like those people, I know what they're talking about. They're talking about having like a deep connection with yourself. That's all they're talking about. It's not, the word authentic is a misunderstanding word though. They're talking about just knowing what you want in life, working towards it, and not letting people get inside your head.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the same thing. I'm saying the same thing. What I'm saying is though, the people who I know aren't living that and are preaching authenticity is because deep down inside they just don't feel connected with themselves and they're trying to preach it to help themselves because they want to help others and they're trying to like fix the problem that they feel like disconnected with themselves. They feel impostor syndrome, right? They feel like oh, I'm not being myself. I feel like, well, why? Because other people's opinions are bothering them.
Yeah.
So those people, I'm saying, if those kind of people, if usually people are preaching authenticity and why it's so important, that scenario is because they're insecure themselves and they're not being real. So they haven't developed the confidence in their own abilities to not have to worry about what others think about them.
Mm-hmm.
But there are leaders who do speak about authenticity, and I know what they mean, and I just wish they used different words because when you say authentic, it mixes with the same pool of crap from the other people that are just insecure.
Yeah.
But you got to talk about like integrity and like, you know, purpose in life. Those things are going to drive a person's confidence in themselves. Not, are you authentic to yourself and to others? No, stop that. Stop being your own. Like the whole world is already trying to get in your way most of the time, and like because they have their own issues. Don't get in your own way.
Don't get in your own way.
Like don't look in the mirror and create new obstacles for yourself out of thin air. I gotta be authentic now. I gotta make sure I'm like this person. Every day. Like relax.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath, you wake up, you go, what do I want? I want this. Great, let's go do it. What do I have to do to get that? Great, I just start working towards it. No fear, no crap, no BS, no distractions, just work.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Isaiah, can we take a look at the comments?
Okay.
Yeah, well, we got comments. We got
What's
comments
the
here.
From Facebook, this is Jessica Corey. Jessica Corey said, so Armin and Jay, do you believe in fake it till you make it? Why or why not? That's her question.
No. I believe in faith it till you make it.
I knew he was gonna say that.
You don't fake anything. It's not about faking things. It's about faithing it. You're telling the truth in advance. If you gotta be something you're not, you have to start acting like it now. So
Yeah.
is that faking it? No. Think of an actor. An actor gets hired for a position. They have to pretend to be this actor, this position, this character
Yep.
to get the job. Is that faking it? Well, technically, if you look at it in layman's terms, it's faking it. Is it a profession though to be very put yourself in a position to be something you're not for a specific purpose? Yeah. So you slanted us, and it's like gonna bother me now. Bring it back the other way, man. There we go. A little bit more. Oh, we're back in an authentic position. So Example, I'm gonna answer. Like I already answered this. If you have no money and you want to be rich one day, you need to start acting, behaving, thinking, and carrying yourself like a person who's rich, so that you can get what they have. Right? That's not faking it. That is you genuinely developing that characteristics of that person or that kind of thing you want to get it. In the moment, you don't have what you're saying, but you will eventually. So you have enough faith to know it's going to happen, and you start working towards it every day.
Yeah.
You can look at that and say, but I'm being fake. Well, then everyone's being fake when they have a goal and they're not there yet. And if that's the case, then yes, it's about faking it. If you look at it that's the logical way to look at it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing. Like, think about it logically. No one gets anywhere without being where they're not there yet.
Exactly.
Nobody. Every number one Olympian athlete right now in the world was once just a beginner. So are they faking it until they became an Olympic award-winning athlete? No. They were just working on it. So if you're genuinely working towards being something you're not, that's not faking it.
Yeah.
If you lie to people about the results you have, that's faking it. If I say, I made $7 trillion last night, well, yeah, I'm faking it. That's BS. I don't even listen to people that tell me about the results regardless. But aside from that, they're exaggerating or they're telling me lies about what they have. That's total BS. That is a fake person. That's a phony. They're intentionally lying to you, which I come back to again. Don't be dishonest intentionally. That's all you got to work on. Just never be dishonest intentionally. Don't actually do it because you're doing it. Like, don't lie. But behaving the way that you want to become, that is not faking. That is how you work on it. It's how you work on it. Claiming things that are not real is not. That is faking. Now, claiming things to yourself that are not real is not faking. This gets complicated, right? If I tell Jay, I'm worth $10 million today, that is a fake statement. I'm not worth $10 million today. So if I tell her that, she goes, oh, and then that doesn't, by the way, that doesn't help my goal because I know my subconscious like you're lying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm lying to her. That's dishonest intentionally. I know I'm lying to her. If I look at myself in the mirror and I go, I'm worth $10 million today, well, that's not faking it. Because it's between me and me. And I can convince myself that I'm worth that because that's called pretending. That's called imagination. I can make myself believe I'm that so that when I get there, I can get there. Make sense? So when you tell others stuff that isn't true, that's faking it.
Yeah.
When you tell yourself that stuff that isn't true that you're working on, that's totally telling the truth to yourself. Because you know you're going to do it, eh? Yeah, that's my answer.
We have a comment from Mr. Abdallah Gubara. He said, I am facing the same thing, being dressed up in college and in my room all the time, building my copywriting skills, and people around me think it's weird to dress up and learn all the time.
Yeah, because they're not doing what you do.
Yeah.
That's why it's weird. That's good. If you're trying to be a lion and the sheeps are wondering why you're not, that's a good thing. Don't be worried about what the sheeps are saying. It doesn't matter. I'm not putting down people, by the way. It's just that saying, figure of speech that I learned from the past. You know, lions don't lose sleep over the opinion of sheep. Lions don't lose sleep over the opinion of sheep. Yeah, that's how we used to say. So, yeah, because they're different than you, man. Like, if you want to be a famous singer one day and someone wants to be a famous doctor one day, so you guys are weird to each other.
Yeah.
Because you're doing different things. So stop worrying about it. Wear your suits every single day. I used to go to school with a coat, a trench coat. Not a trench coat, but like a professional coat with dress shoes. All the kids in my Catholic school were looking around like they're wearing like sneakers and like, you look like a substitute teacher. That's how mature I looked. I'm like, yeah, I probably am your substitute teacher from the amount of knowledge I'm learning. So I didn't care. People were like, why did you always dress like that? I'm like, because since I was 17 until like just recently, I literally dressed professionally and formally everywhere I went. I went to the movies, I put on a dress shirt with a blazer and a coat. I went to go grocery shopping, I wore a blazer. You're like, that's a little overdone. No, that's who I was. That's because of what it did to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't worry about it.
We have a comment from Jessica Corey. Jessica Corey said, faith it. I love that. Wow, yes, thank you. She's
Love
excited. I love it.
Awesome. I think, did you
You
check
have more
Armin's
comments from
Instagram?
Imad?
No, Isaiah took care of that.
Oh, okay, good.
But
Is there any other
we've got
comments?
Armin's Instagram. What are they saying on my Instagram? Was it just like love?
It was just love. They're just showing you so much
Okay,
love.
love you guys
You're
too.
waving at you. You have a lot of people waving at you.
Awesome, love you guys.
Please don't. I think they're doing the Drake hand, actually.
Oh yeah?
Please don't do it.
It's awesome.
Anything else on my Instagram? What's up, Insta?
Always
Just love?
hearts.
Just love.
Guys, if you're loving this right now, make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that little notification bell. If you like this content, you want to get more content like this. If you're on Instagram, then make sure you send this to someone in a DM or tag somebody on the Instagram IG story so that they can also check this out and maybe get their questions answered there. If you're on Facebook, hit that little like button and let us know in the comments below what you've taken out of this episode so far, your number one takeaway. And make sure you share this video so that other people can also get the same message and can help them out. What time are we at? We're ending off.
Yeah, we're almost, yeah.
That's it.
That's it. We're done.
We're not going to go over time this time. So, if you have questions you want us to answer, we have a list of questions here, and we do our best to get through them all. If you have questions that you want us to answer on the show live every Monday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, all you got to do is go to askarmin.com and submit your question. And I'll also even send you some valuable free trainings and content so that I can help you start your own and build your own wildly successful coaching business. If that's what you want to do, if you want to help people, that's exactly what we do here in this company, and we'll help you do that as well. Love you so much, guys. Make sure you go to Ask Armin, post your questions, share this video, and hit that subscribe button so you get more awesome content. And hit that little notification bell, and let us know in the comments below what you loved about this episode the most. We'll see you next time. Make the rest of your week the best of your week.